Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here with you on beautiful Brandywine Street in Ward 3. I'm with near Councilmember Che's house and many others. And I am especially pleased to be joined by Councilmember Che and our DDOT Director, Leif Dormshow. I think the last time we were together in Ward 3, we were in an alley that was being paloozed, a very long alley that was in terrible shape. And so today we're talking about Potholepalooza. You all know about Potholepalooza, and you know about the winter we had and the amount of salt that we dropped. And we're finished with that, right? No more for the year? Guaranteed. No more snow, no more need to put salt down, which is why we're out doing Potholepalooza. Leif is going to talk to you a little bit about some new approaches that we think will make our efforts this year even more effective in helping to use technology to identify the potholes, repair them quickly, and close them out. So that's why we're here. Now, we have been filling potholes, contrary to popular opinion. We've done already 11,500, and Leif will tell you a little bit more about what we need to get done. Now, while we talk about potholes each and every year, the council has my budget, and which also reflects our commitment to infrastructure, and that includes residential streets like this one. And we know we need to do better. We know that we need to make the resources available so that we have a consistent program to get our residential streets in the state of good repair that we all expect. Let me thank the commissioners who are on the ground each and every day letting us know about issues that affect the quality of life of people who live here. In the SMD Commissioner, Mary Beth Ray is here. Give Mary Beth a round of applause. Teresa Cameron, the Executive Director of our Van Ness Main Street, and Commissioner Gresham, also here. And thank you, Commissioner. And let's hear it for the commissioners. And now let me recognize the Ward 3 Councilwoman, who also chairs the Committee on Transportation and the Environment and has been a wonderful partner with us in making sure that we are investing in our infrastructure. Mary.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and good morning to everybody. Good morning to Director Dormsjoe, members of the community, ANC commissioners. Several years ago, I started making the comment, which was not new to me, but it seems so appropriate, that potholes in certain areas kind of rendered our streets like the surface of the moon, and you all know what I'm talking about. But I want to say something and put something in context here. The city's pothole problem is not just a function of the weather. It's also a function of how we deal with potholes, and it was for a time symptomatic of a bigger problem in the district. The infrastructure delays of various kinds, decay that was allowed to occur, misallocation of resources, even within the Department of Transportation. But on the occasion of this 8th Potholepalooza, I think we're eighth. It's not just that we haven't done this before, but I think we're in a different context today. And I want to say something about our director. Since Director Dormsjoe has taken over his position last February, the Department of Transportation has made, I think, rather significant strides in transparency, in responsiveness, in innovation, in opening the 16th Street Bridge at Military under budget and ahead of schedule. Who's heard of that? Expanding the circulator fleet, taking head on the safety issues with the streetcar and getting that running. In all of these ways and others, we have effective leadership now in that department, and I think working with the council, the mayor, getting the resources that we're about to enter into, I think, a more innovative, more successful, more effective era with the Department of Transportation, and this Potholepalooza is part of that. As I said, it's been going on for some time, that's true, but now it comes in a context, I think, that can give us greater confidence in how we deal with our streets, our sidewalks, our alleys, etc. Now, that said, I do want to make one observation, and I hope the director will speak to this. I do receive many complaints from people about potholes and how they are filled, both with the materials and how quickly they deteriorate, and also with filling a pothole but leaving behind a bump in the road. So I hope that whatever we're doing going forward, that we'll be able to take care of those problems. But with that said, I want to thank again Mayor Bowser. I want to thank Director Dormsjo, and I really want to thank also the men and women of the Department of Transportation who work so hard all the time to give us the best service. So with that, I'll give you the head of that workforce, Director Dormsjo.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I want to thank Mayor Bowser for her support. We really appreciate her leadership and commitment to helping us meet our goals at DDOT. I'm also really grateful for the support that we received from the City Council, especially from my committee chairperson, Mary Che. And I do appreciate your kind words and your charge to do better. And I look forward to our budget hearing next Friday.
Really?
Of course, none of this great work happens without the hard work of our DDOT team, and I'm proud of all the staff that are here and hope to introduce them to the mayor and show our appreciation for what they do day in and day out for the citizens of the District of Columbia. Like you, Mayor Bowser, I'm very excited about the kickoff of our 8th annual Potholepalooza campaign. While we are launching this attack on April 1st, make no mistake, this is not an April Fool's joke. There is a real new strategy in place here, and I want to spend a little bit of time talking about how we're deploying technology to improve the services in the District of Columbia. This is a full-scale war on potholes. You're going to see some of the arsenal that we have in our campaign later on when we go through the show and tell portion of the program. Residents really need to know that our team is hitting the streets hard. We have been working to deal with the backlog so that when we launch the Potholepalooza service guarantee of 48 hours, which is our stretch goal of completing potholes, that we don't have a backlog of existing complaints that we've got to take care of. So much of that work remains. We have a really terrific set of assets that we use with this program. We have 3 pothole killers. You'll see one of those devices in the back here, which is a pavement management a tool that allows the operator to both move through the city streets, but then also operate the pothole patching equipment. So it's a real time and labor savings to the department. We've got 6 spray patch machines. We've got a whole armada of small and large dump trucks. We've got milling and paving equipment that we bring out when we have to make more extensive repairs to a roadway and take off the top layer of the degraded pavement and pave it with new asphalt. We've got pro patch trucks. We've got a whole host of other types of equipment that we put in to motion. But with regard to the technology, I just want to spend a moment talking about this because I do think that this is an improvement. In the past, the crews would go out with paper lists of potholes that had locations, and that is a pretty inefficient way of doing things because, first of all, they were unable to understand how many potholes might be in a particular area. All they had was the list, and so citizens would be frustrated that they'd see some potholes getting filled, but the crews might be driving by or be adjacent to another area that has potholes. Now, with these tablets in the field, the crews can see the concentration of potholes and take care of an entire area. Also, it's being updated in real time. So if a complaint comes in, that's going to be on their to-do list without them having to wait for the next day to pick up a paper copy of their work plan. So you can imagine the efficiencies associated with that improvement, and then the benefit to the public when the crews can actually close out the service requests in the field in real time. That helps us really gauge whether or not we're meeting that 48-hour service request timeline. So these are things that we are proud of and that we've been experimenting with up until today, but now we're really arming our teams with modern technology and kind of moving out of the 1970s, right here into the 2000s. So we're happy about that. We're not just waiting for complaints to come in as well. We have inspectors in the field in neighborhoods where we historically don't get as much reporting. We want to make sure that we're not solely dependent on the calls that we get from citizens. We want to make sure that we're out there looking at the streets and making sure that we're hitting all 8 wards. And that's a very important operating principle within the Department of Transportation. So as you identify the potholes, you can report them to DDOT a number of different ways. You report the issues and then we take care of the issues. Our call center, if you have to interface with a customer service agent, we've got those folks available at 202-671-2700. If you want to reach us online, you can go to the website 311.dc.gov. You can also use the 311 app from your smartphone. That's DC-311. And you can tweet, and we have had a whole slew of tweets already today. And so my press officer, Terry Owens, his phone is lit up like a Christmas tree about 6:30 in the morning until right here. So you can go to Twitter and go to hashtag. You can by using hashtag Potholepalooza. We've got folks monitoring that constantly. So with that, I just want to say, we're really excited about this. I called Terry at 8:30 in the morning. It was raining. There were wind gusts. I wasn't sure we were going to be here. And he said, keep the faith. And Madam Mayor, you deliver the sun, and now we're going to take care of potholes. This is spring. I mean, this is a magical moment for everyone here. So thank you very much. We're proud of our forces here. And I guess we can take some questions.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leif, and thank you to the DDOT team. Let's hear it for DDOT. DDOT's been busy, and as the chairwoman explained, we have logged some really great successes, and we're just going to keep pushing on some more. So we'll take some questions. If you have some questions for a councilwoman about Potholepalooza, general questions, I know that you may have some general questions for me, and I'm happy to take those too. There was a non-press question, so if it's okay with my friends, I'll take that one.
Well, I'm kind of with the press because
Okay.
I am editor of the Forest Hills Connection.
Okay, well
Okay.
That works.
So this seems like the work of John Thomas, because it sounds very similar to the urban forestry program that he set up. Will you also have the same kind of mapping that the trees have as well?
Okay, so the question was, is the approach to potholes similar to the strategy that the department has been using with urban tree management? And the answer to that is yes. The former state forester, John Thomas, is now our chief performance officer, and his first task was to take some of the best practices from our urban forestry team and apply it to our roadway management and potholes. So this idea of using tablets, of mapping interactively the service request is something that we've cross-pollinated from the urban forestry division, pun intended there, to our pothole campaign. And we're very proud of John and his team and the innovation that he's going to bring to all parts of our department.
Okay, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
On pothole
Okay,
question.
it's okay.
Next week we're going to get the conceptual plan for RFK Stadium. What to do with that?
Yep.
What are your expectations? Where are we going to go after the unveiling of the concepts from the team?
Sure. So you know that we will open DC United Stadium in 2018, and I have asked Events DC to be prepared to have a plan that can go any number of directions. Because what the city, my responsibility will be is that we don't just have a vacant stadium at RFK. So I expect that we will have concepts that would include an NFL stadium, not include an NFL stadium, but regardless, it will be many uses, multi-uses. We have a lot of acreage at RFK, and we can get a lot of uses at the stadium.
So, what is that issue? Is there an issue still?
Well, we are a leaseholder, and so they still control the land. We have a lease that goes out 30 years, and so we will continue to abide by the terms of the lease until we have a new lease.
Last question is, what do you really want to happen there? What do you want to see right now?
I want to see a multi-use site. So I want to be able to continue the mission that our lease requires to have sports and entertainment. We will be able to accommodate an NFL stadium. We will be able to accommodate soccer fields for the adjacent neighborhoods. We could even have some other buildings and shopping and dining. So we will see a space that accommodates sports and entertainment, but also the beauty of the river. Yes, Sam.
I guess about an hour ago you tweeted out, "I have signed an order banning travel to North Carolina from D.C. For D.C. government employees, we stand with LGBT." Tell us more about this, please.
Yeah, we took a similar stand when another state chose to discriminate against LGBT residents, and we want to send a very clear message. First of all, that the District of Columbia is open to everybody, and we want to stand with our residents.
So it bans D.C. employees from going there to do business?
Business travel.
Yeah.
Government travel.
Is there a lot of government travel to North Carolina?
From time to time, you'd be surprised. I would say no, there isn't a lot, but we would expect that people get invited to speak at different places, to go to different conferences, you name it.
Why is it important to make this, maybe symbolic act?
Well, I think when good, well-meaning people don't stand up and speak up or speak out against what is wrong, then we are complicit, and so we don't want to be that way. And those are the values of our city. Yes. Let me get the press, and I'll come back to you, Commissioner. Yes.
Madam Mayor, what are your thoughts on the possible long-term shutdowns of entire metro lines and how that will affect the city?
Well, the general manager hasn't provided me with any explanation. I understand that something like that was blurted out at a meeting, and it's going to require a serious conversation among the funders of Metro.
Does go through as a plan?
I don't know at this point, having not been fully briefed on what the concerns are. I will tell you this, just as my concern was when there was a shutdown of a day, that this is not anything that we can take lightly, and that it impacts the district in a very serious way, and it impacts DC employers and employees, and it affects DC taxpayers because it affects our bottom line. It would also impact the federal workforce in a very significant way, and I would want to also understand the implications of the compact. We agree, one thing about the compact, we agree to pay X to get Y, and we have to make sure that we're getting those things. Yes, sir.
Just earlier this week, I reported out that this group that in 2006 was pushing for gambling to be legalized in the district and for slots to be placed in Anacostia, they're at it again. They filed paperwork with the Board of Elections that they want a ballot initiative to legalize gambling and open what would essentially be a casino at Good Hope Road and MLK. Do you have any thoughts about the value of what essentially a casino could do for development in the district, and especially in Anacostia?
I can think of 1,000 things I'd rather see at MLK and Good Hope Road. Maybe 2,000. Does that answer your question? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am, Commissioner.
Well, first Well, welcome to the single member district. We're really delighted to have all three of you here and all this gathering. This is probably the most excitement this intersection has seen in about 65 years. I wanted to congratulate you on your Vision Zero plan, and we're especially excited about that in Van Ness with the launch of Van Ness Main Street and trying to make our community more walkable and sustainable. And so I just wanted to ask you, in light of Chick-fil-A's new application for their drive-through, where the Burger King is now, what is the best way for us to work with you through the Office of Planning, Department of Transportation, the Zoning Office, and so forth, to make sure that we realize that shared vision for a walkable Van Ness?
Okay. So there was a lot in that question. Chick-fil-A, so I take it they want a new curb cut?
To increase the traffic at the existing curb cut, but they have to apply for a new curb cut.
They applied for a new curb cut?
Right, and the hearing is April 28th.
Okay. All right, I would want to get some facts about that. And obviously, Vision Zero is important. And a lot of people don't recognize that we suffer pedestrian fatalities in this city. And we suffer a lot of pedestrian fatalities in the upper part of the city, going up Connecticut Avenue, going up Wisconsin Avenue. I shudder even to think about the number of times I've been called about a pedestrian accident. So we have a very real issue. So when we talk about Vision Zero, people, in my view, are dying needlessly because of conflicts with cars. And so Leif's team, with the council's support, has a series of initiatives to help us slow down traffic, make sure that the walkable environment supports people being able to cross safely, and that we have an enforcement regime that is serious and it tells people you cannot drive recklessly on our streets. You raise another issue that is in that we're always trying to make sure that the built environment, including curb cuts and crossings, support that vision. So let me get a little bit more information about how the business community's application there impacts what we have to do. It was also something that we included in our budget that was very important to Councilwoman Shea, and that was looking at the list of tough intersections that we have, dangerous intersections, in fact, and having the ability where it makes sense to put people to help manage those movements as well. Mary, I don't know if you want to say anything more about that.
Well, what we did is we asked to have the most dangerous intersections identified, and we have a list. And so last spring, I think it was, Leif, we went out with the community at the top 5, and we tried to assess what could be done at those top 5, whether it be infrastructure changes, bump outs, or what have you, or, as the mayor was making reference to, the traffic control officers. And what we're hoping to do with DDOT is to go through those dangerous intersections, because each of them may have something in particular that will make it better. Maybe it's the length of time to cross or something like that, and work our way through those, including with the use of the traffic control officers, and actually get them off the list. We don't want the dangerous intersections, but that's a combined effort, through the mayor's office, through the Department of Transportation, and the council, and I think that that's an important thing to do. We need to find out where we have danger and then abate it.
Okay, let's go look at some potholes. Let's go Palooza.
It's already gone. She finished. She's gonna go to the pothole, so I have to disconnect the live view and go there. Okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try from here. I won't get it because it's gonna be full of people. Can you move the podium out, please? Silence. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Be careful with I'm going to take a picture from here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So they just stopped the news count. They're about to do potholes. So I'm going to have Bill, he's going to just boot up the live view now. And can you all just roll on it till you cut something for the noon show? We'll just get live stuff set. Okay? And then we don't have to worry about trying to take it. It's still going on. It's just not going to stop. You know, all right?
Excuse me, squeeze.
Hey, who's this?
Manuel, you're walking. How you doing? Hey, listen, I'm with Sam Ford, and I am powering up. Lobby 37. And okay, but that's not my question. What I want, if I can, is to have you roll on. I'm going to shoot some pothole filling, and then we'll have it for our news. Is that possible? Okay, all right. April Fools. There we go.